Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. It is always great to see you. I hope that you are having a fantastic week. So in today's video, I'm doing a sewn mouth look, and this look is based along the concept of post-mortem, where there's lack of blood flow into the skin and the colors of the skin also change a bit. I thought it'd be a good way to practice with water-based paints, alcohol paints, or shadow placement and different types of adhesive. All things and all products that I just listed will work for this look. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's just go ahead and get into it. To begin, I am taking a light foundation and mixing it with the LA Girl white mixing pigment, and I'm going in with a brush this time and pushing this all over through the skin to the ears, around the neck, and into the collarbone. I want the skin to be pale but still look like skin. That's why I chose to use foundation in a lighter shade. I am using a baby powder to set this look for today. You do not have to purchase anything specific for this since you're using foundation and you're keeping it into the skin tone. You can use cornstarch or flour, whatever you have on hand. Due to no blood flow into the skin, I am using blues and grays for this look today. I'm going in with an eyeliner pencil in gray to mark out the rest of the smile that goes beyond the natural crease of the lips. I go back and forth with my pencil to make that line darker and to show separation in the skin. I concentrate my eyeliner on the outside, heavy on the bottom to make the eyes droop. I continue to carry my contour along the face with grays and blues, keeping it in mind that the shadows where the skin would sink back into the face and everything pushes forward with highlights. The best way to remember about contouring is if you want it to fade into the background, you use shadow, and if you want to push it forward, you use a highlight color of the opposite, as you see me do here for the collarbone. They pop once I put shadow above and below it. I mix black and white for a gray in my water paints, and I want to darken in that line just a little bit more around the area. And in order to make it look like the skin has lifted up a bit, I take some white eyeshadow and I go on the top, above the lip, and above the line that I've drawn on the sides of my face. Wanting my eyes to sink a little bit more, I apply blue and white on the top part of the lid. For the collarbone to pop out, I'm using white on the highest part of the bone. Going in with white water paints, I create these X's along the line that I drew in earlier. Now, I didn't want this to be pristine. It matched completely because my thought process behind this is someone was taking the time to stitch your mouth in this way. They're not going to finesse anything. So I made it a little bit wonky, a little bit thin here, one stitch, cross stitch. So I go in and I place that down, and the thing about white is it needs to be finessed a little bit. So once I actually have the base painted in, I give that time for it to dry, and then I go back over so those whites are more opaque. I'll go in one more time over the stitch that sits over the other ones and make sure that one's even wider than the rest of them. I am using alcohol paints for this next stage. Now the body takes on 4 stages after death. There is pallor mortis, and that's where the skin pales. The second stage is algal mortis, and that's where the body begins to cool over time. The third stage is rigor mortis, and that's when the muscles stiffen and the body contracts. And the fourth stage is livor mortis, and this is the areas of the full blood where it begins to take on a bruise-like discoloration and it begins to spider. So I concentrate that area toward the back of the face, the bottom of the neck, and into the collarbone. Now, in order for it to look like there is tension in the skin and to give these stitches a 3-dimension look, I go in and I place gray above and below the beginning of the stitches, and also concentrating the shadow a little bit more on the bottom area. We want those to push up, and we want the shadow to make it look like these stitches are going into the skin. I go back in with a little bit of blue, and I do that above and at the bottom, and as of course you guessed it, another Colourpop palette. Going back in for the livre mortis, I begin to tap in the watercolors, and you can use shadow for this. You can use water-based paints. It doesn't matter, just as long as you get the effect that you're needing to have for this look. That's one thing I like about this look. It teaches you contouring. It gets you into that mindset to always consider what the backstory is, the actual stages, and what the body realistically goes through. And I'm sorry guys, I couldn't stand that headband anymore, so mousse into the hair to make it stay in place and make it look wet. Now back to the program. For added dimension, I am taking a brush and some lash glue that dries clear, and I'm popping that on the top and at the bottom of these stitches, and once those have dried, I go back in with some more gray eyeshadow. Here is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial today. Please tag me and let me see what you come up with. You can use this for any look that you want stitches. This is a good way to have this look, and if you're going to a party, you can eat and drink and not worry about anything else. But don't worry, I am going to revisit this look and make it bloody and make it gory, so please subscribe. You do not want to miss that. And if you'd like to see sneak peeks, behind the scenes footage, or vote on my next look, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are below. And thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.